I started working on this project on May 6th, which is the day that Kentaro Miura died, and I decided that I wanted to do something inspired by his work. For those of you who don't know, he is the artist of the Berserk manga, and I have always really liked his art style. Something that I really respect about it is how much how ridiculous the amount of detail he puts in. And oh no, at this point, this is where my computer was apparently possessed by the devil. I'm sorry. Okay, we're back on track. But as I have said multiple times on this channel, I don't do a whole lot of like backgrounds and stuff, and I really wanted to pay a lot of attention to composition and atmosphere when doing this one. So everything you're going to see me do in this, aside from the rough sketch of this character, which is now done, everything else is an experiment. So some of it looks kind of good and some of it looks kind of bad, and it goes through the phase of it just being, intermediate and terrible. But I kind of developed an idea of what I wanted to do with it as I was going, and I do like what it finally turned into. And that is this look at this character who is sort of a spirit, a ghost character. He's almost a little inspired by Raziel from the Legacy of Kain, in that he's like a demon hunter who like absorbs the spirits of the demons that he fights. But I really wanted to do this look at sort of like Geist Sin Eater kind of walking through the spirit world, and I wanted to do something that was like horror genre. And so this is kind of what I came up with, this like ethereal, ghostly demon face in the background, which by the time it's done, I don't really know how visible or recognizable that is. But as you can see here, I'm doing a lot of just something that I always notice are like an easy way to make things look freaky in the background is to just put a lot of like amorphous faces in piles. And so that's kind of what I was doing there. And I'm just playing a lot with different lighting and making sure that the composition of the piece is balanced. I didn't end up cropping it. It remains square, which maybe it could have benefited from some cropping, and but I just tried to work with the space that I had. I ultimately did this work a lot faster than I usually do most things, and I think it's because I didn't end up coloring it. I tried to just do a black and white picture. But as you can see, I'm playing a lot with different gradient layers and different clipping masks and stuff, and here's where I finally broke down. I was trying to do this experimental thing where I left it a rough sketch, hoping that it would make it seem more like ghostly, but I finally broke down and said, I just gotta start putting hard outlines on it. There's a creepy monster eating a guy. I don't know how well you can see that, so I pointed it out as I was drawing it. When this piece is done, there's just like a lot of stuff in here, and I like what it looks like. It probably could be a little bit better, but that's true of anything, so no big deal. And as you can see, I'm putting like little teeth in his chest. So we have a person who has basically been autopsied, and now he's walking around in the spirit world, and he's got like parts of his body are kind of like pulling apart as he absorbs the energy from these spirits that he conquers. And so very, very Legacy of Kain, I guess. But I really wanted to get in just like a scary aesthetic, and sorry for the jarring cut there, but we jump over to, I don't know how to do lettering. I think I have terrible handwriting, and I don't like using like pre-made fonts to use the text tool because I feel like that's lazy, so I just always kind of don't know how to do lettering. But I think this one kind of looks cool. So there's my finished work, and I've dedicated this piece to Kentaro Miura. I'm sorry we're never going to get to see the end of that manga, But I really appreciate if you don't know his work, check out some of his drawings on Google or something. Just the amount of detail in them is insane. And so that's where I'm going to leave it off here. Thanks.